Well, good morning. Welcome to the Master of Travel Advisors series. And I'm John Werner, the president of MAST Travel Network. We are a network of 1,000, about 1,000 travel professionals. And with me today is Kristi Peak, who is also a member of our network. Welcome, Kristi.
Thank you so much.
And today we're going to talk about your trip to Costa Rica. And I know that you went there, I believe, in November.
Mm-hmm.
And was that your first trip to Costa Rica, or you've been there before?
I've been there before. We actually took our kids one time with backpacks and went across the country.
Oh, wow.
So I love Costa Rica.
So you know the country pretty well, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So on this trip in November, what airline did you fly there?
I flew American Airlines, and I've flown them quite a bit and attended training with them, and they have a clean, complete program.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're filtering the air out every 2 minutes with HEPA filters and the UV lights, and it was really good. Everything about the flight was good.
Good. So the in-flight experience went just fine, and was the flight full?
It was fairly full, so that's one thing people should be aware of. American is not blocking middle seats, but instead they're doing safety protocols that they feel are as effective as the blocking the middle seat.
Okay. So I know back in November, I believe there wasn't any testing requirements to get into Costa Rica or to leave and come back to the United States. What else was required to go?
You have to fill out a health pass thing, so you don't have to test, but you have to fill out a health pass, and you get a code in your phone that you can show, the QR code, and then you're required to purchase travel insurance that covers certain stuff. So they have 2 travel insurance providers through their country, and you can purchase with them and know you got exactly what they're looking for. And they also have outside third parties that you can purchase with, and we purchased with the Costa Rican government. Okay. And now the new updates, you will have to test to return. And that testing is going to vary based on the resort you're staying at on what the process will look like for that.
So I know about the insurance there. There are several other countries around the world that are offering travelers an insurance program, mm-hmm. which is fantastic to see, because it usually seems to be at relatively low cost and covers you while you're visiting a country like that. So, insurance mandates, I know a few countries also, require that you have health insurance when you're a visitor to a country. So when you arrived, now you flew into Liberia, which is sort of on the northwest side of the country, not too far inland from the Pacific Ocean side of the country. Is that correct then?
Yes, that's correct. And it's a really small airport, so it was really easy arriving there.
Okay. And then, so once you arrived at the airport, what kind of transportation did you use to get around?
So I used the Amstar private transfers. So it was just me and my husband. So you arrive, you turn in your paperwork, they have you wash your hands and sanitize, your luggage is sanitized. And then we were in the transfer by ourselves, and he actually cracked the windows, so you've got air circulating. The driver had his mask on, we wore our mask, and it was a pretty seamless process.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so that you went directly to your resort. Where did you stay?
Secrets Papagayo. Okay. Yeah, and it was really nice, very seamless process. The AM Resorts really has their process down with the cleaning and all the safety protocols.
Yeah, that's what I understand. They're doing a fantastic job. And so, and that resort is right on the beach, correct? And
yes,
it's
adults only. So there are no kids there, just adults.
Right. Okay. Now, did you happen to visit nearby areas? Did you get to go off property a lot?
We did go off property, not a lot, but some. We went on a tour that I had booked through Pleasant Activities, and that was really good. Pleasant is vetting all the tours that they have to make sure they're following the safety protocols. So the drivers came and got us. All safety protocols were followed, and we hiked outside. We went up a volcano and saw that. And we saw some other nature stuff, hiking through parts of the rainforest. And then they took us to eat lunch at a local place, and they gave us a tour around town. And all of that went really seamless. Costa Rica has so much outdoor space and, you know, all the national parks and stuff. And so it's a great place to go for socially distanced activities because no one is around you because you're out in the national parks.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the, you know, ecotourism in Costa Rica. And you mentioned all the national parks. That is a huge part of their tourism business.
Yes.
All the nature, lots of great wildlife. And I know that you mentioned things like, you know, zip lining being available in the area. And
My husband did zip line. My husband went, so I was still working because I have the business to manage, and my husband was actually on vacation. So my husband went deep sea fishing, and he caught an amazing fish, and he also went zip lining, and he loved all of it. Everything went really well for him.
oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that I'm intrigued to hear about the fish story that you were able to, the chef prepared the fish
Yes. So
for dinner.
I'll send you a picture. My husband actually caught, I think it's called a rooster fish. I don't fish, but my husband does. And it was huge. And he caught several fish. So they filleted them on the boat. And then his boat captain brought it up, and the chef at the resort took it, and they cooked it up, and we ate it for lunch. And it was really good.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Talk about fresh catch of the day.
Yes.
It doesn't get any better than that.
And my husband is still talking about it. It was a couple weeks ago, and he's still talking about getting to go out and go fishing and having it fried or however they fixed it while we were at the resort, and we ate it, you know, within hours of him catching it.
Yeah. Oh, that's spectacular. That's a lot of fun. What else did you happen to do at the resort then?
It's been a hard year, or it was a hard year for most people in travel. So I worked, and then I bought a big giant bag of books, and I would sit beside the pool and read. And so the pools were open, all of the dining was open. And so we did a lot of relaxing of like reading books, swimming in the ocean, swimming at the pool, not having to cook and clean because all your normal cleaning services are still going on. It was just really relaxing at the resort.
And what's the beach like on the Pacific coast of Costa Rica?
It's black sand, a brownish black sand from the volcanic ash. And depending on how the waves are coming in and out, the water can either be really clear or it can be cloudy due to the color of the sand from the volcanic activity in that area in the past.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful. My husband snorkeled and that type of stuff. That is one thing. They were not offering snorkeling gear, so people need to bring that with them, or they have to buy it on site for the safety of putting it in and out of your mouth and stuff. They're not doing that cross-contamination at this time.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So the snorkeling, you found your husband enjoyed the snorkeling in that area.
Mm-hmm, he did. I mean, we love Costa Rica. The people are friendly, and I always say Costa Rica is a little similar to Hawaii, except with much more wildlife. Yeah. So you've got the short flight and then lots of wildlife out in the ocean and in the rainforest.
Yeah, I mean, spectacular rainforests, cloud forest, there's all kinds of different ecosystems. And I know Costa Rica is a country of about 5 million people. They're known to have a very high literacy rate, I guess the best literacy rate in all of Latin America. I know they have a great healthcare system. In fact, medical tourism to Costa Rica is very popular. And the people that you met there, wonderful people, very friendly. How would you describe?
I would say they're some of the happiest people on earth. My kids, so we took our kids 5 years ago, and our kids still talk about the people there because they're just so happy, kind, friendly. Most of them can speak English and Spanish, which is really nice. And they're well educated, like you said, and they have cutting edge medical technology. Because even in the town we live in outside of Dallas, people have gone there to get medical treatments before for multiple sclerosis and stuff like that. And just really, really friendly and happy-go-lucky. I mean, they say it's one of the happiest populations on earth is what I've read before, and I believe it from traveling there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they have a very, I think, a very stable government and a stable economy and stuff. Although they certainly, especially in tourism and everything, it's the pandemic has had a huge impact on them. So they were the people. I'm sure that at the resort. Were very gracious and were
Yes.
so welcoming. Really glad to see you there, and
Yes, they were all really glad because our driver talked to us about how from March to midsummer, they had no tourism. And so for an economy that relies on tourism, that's really hard because they were not working. And every country doesn't have the exact same backup systems that we do. So it's a struggle for them when they're not having that tourism economy come in. So they were happy to see all tourists because that's bringing economy back to them, and they're happy to show their country off. Like that's one thing. Costa Ricans are very proud of their country and the ecosystems that they have going on and all of that. And so they were happy to have tourists back.
yeah. Yeah, I know that I read that there's about 110,000 jobs that are directly related to tourism, and there's at least that many indirectly tied to tourism. So, that's a significant portion of their economy.
Yeah, I think it's 2 to 3 billion plus per year. And for a 5 million population size, 2 to 3 billion is a large section of your economy. And so when it's totally turned off, they're not getting that tourism economy in.
Right, right. So going back to the resort, you said the restaurants were all open, and so you were able to go to probably a different place every night.
Yep, we did.
What was your favorite?
Well, my favorite was the meal of the fish that was cooked for us. But I also like the seaside grill that does the seafood, and it's right on like the edge where you can look out at the ocean as you eat. And so, a lot of the resorts in the Caribbean and Central America and Mexico are set up for social distancing because it's outdoor open space. And so we ate a lot of meals outside, and it was awesome.
It's great. And besides the fish, the fish was your favorite meal. What was your second favorite meal there?
It's probably the coffee, which is not a meal, but
Right.
their coffee is amazing, and I love their breakfast.
Yes.
And I love the fresh fruit because they grow so much fresh there.
Right.
And so it's not like what most people probably say, but I love to eat the fruit and drink the coffee at breakfast because their coffee's grown there too.
Yeah, no, they have a great coffee industry there, very conducive to coffee production. I guess that's the word I was trying to say, coffee production and stuff. So yeah, I know I love Costa Rican coffee myself. So did you so you were there how many nights then altogether?
I stayed 5 nights, 6 days.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
So
a nice, relaxing, after everything that everyone has been through, it's nice to just get away and almost escape reality. I mean, we were wearing the mask, practicing all this, normal safety protocols, but it's a very relaxed feeling to be there out in the sun and just sitting at the beach or by the pool.
yeah, so so I was going to ask you a question related to being active or relaxing and so forth, because Costa Rica is the kind of destination where, they have the beaches, they have the resorts. You could certainly go there and have a very relaxing vacation, but you could also go there and be very active. So if you had somebody who is looking for some adventure, more activity and everything, what's the kind of things that you would recommend that they do?
So I actually had people go after us over Christmas, and they did stuff every day. So they went to a chocolate farm and toured it and made chocolate. They went to a coffee farm. They fished 2 or 3 days. They zip lined. I had them do a multi-stay. So they were in close to the volcano and the cloud forest, and then down on the beach to get that experience too. And Costa Rica is really popular for that active adventure. So they zip lined, fished, hiked, toured like animal nature preserve things where they got to see sloths and stuff like that.
Right.
They went to different farms and saw the farm production. They did something every day.
Yeah.
So they were busy the whole entire time.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I know they have a big sea turtle
Yes.
population on the Caribbean side of the island, of the country, I should say. And of course, you mentioned sloths, and they have spider monkeys and great birds, macaws, and
Yes, it's really popular for bird watching.
yeah.
And then we saw a python, or not a boa constrictor, one of the snakes. I'm not a snake fan, but we did see one as we were hiking the volcano, and I just didn't go near it. But some people are excited to see the snakes. I'm not excited to see a snake. So,
yeah, I could do without the snakes myself.
On the rainforest hike, though, we saw the monkeys running through the trees. I mean, we sat for a really long time, and we could see them just migrating through the trees, and it's really popular for bird watching.
Yeah. Oh, and I also know they have canopy walks. So if you want to walk like 50 feet off the rainforest floor.
Yes. And on our last trip, we did some of that with our kids, and it was amazing because you can see it from a different vantage point because you get to look down instead of looking up.
So besides that, flying in and out of Liberia, have you been to, you went to other parts of the country on your previous trip, and
yes.
What are some other, you could fly into San Jose?
I've done that before and went down to Manuel Antonio.
Okay.
And Manuel Antonio is amazing too. And Manuel Antonio had more of the howler monkeys whenever we were there. And so even at our resort, the monkeys were just like running through the trees, and our kids had never seen anything like that before. And so they would sit on the balcony for hours and just watch the monkeys at the resort.
Yeah. Do you advise renting a car there? I know sometimes people will, they like the self-drive.
I think that varies on what kind of traveler you are. So I've never rented a car there, and their roads will sometimes rain a lot and have washouts. And if you're a savvy traveler and you've traveled a lot and you know what you're doing, then I have had clients do it. I personally like the private transfers and like to go on guided tours rather than drive it myself for me. Okay. But a lot of our clients do it. I just make sure, because also the travel insurance on the cars can be just a little bit tricky in Costa Rica sometimes.
Yeah. So do you have any plans to go back there soon?
Yes, I do plan to go back. I hope to be back this year. And my father-in-law, my husband's dad, is ready to go back because he wants to do the fishing that my husband did.
Sure. Well, after the story of catching that fish and everything, that's a great reason to go back.
Yes.
Again.
And it's just an amazing place. I mean, it's so naturally beautiful, and then the food is good, it's fresh, and the people are just super kind, and it just lends itself to any kind of vacation you want. If you want relaxing, you can have relaxing. If you want adventure, there's a lot of adventure to be had there.
Wonderful. This sounds like a great time. Is there anything else you would like to tell us about your experience?
The main thing I would want people to be aware of is just how wonderful the people are and how you can travel safely there. We've had lots of clients go there, and I've been there myself. I would carry my children back in a heartbeat, and the people are really kind, and they need the tourism to return so that they have job stabilization there with the tourism.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's great. Where's your next trip?
Well, I'm in Sedona right now, and I'll be heading to Mexico the 31st of this month, and headed back on February 3rd with Kelly Ortiz, who's another MAST member, and Jamie Rump, who's a MAST member, so that we can do the testing and experience that firsthand to share it with our clients.
Yeah, that firsthand experience is invaluable for your clients to feel comfortable and know what to expect and are ready. A lot of people definitely want to travel, and they want to do it well and safely, of course. And so, no, it's great to have that firsthand experience.
And I feel like if we send the people there, we should lead with our actions and go and do it ourselves, so that what they're experiencing, we know exactly how to prepare them and make sure that it is safe to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I really appreciate your time today, and it sounds wonderful. I'm ready to go myself. I've been
Should.
to
It's
Costa
an amazing
Rica
place.
once from a cruise ship, actually. So I was only there for a day, and haven't been able to take a trip to stay overnight or multiple days and everything. But I'm ready, and it just sounds like you have had a wonderful time there. So.
You
Um,
should try it. It's amazing. And you will fall in love with the people there and the beauty of the landscape there.
Yeah, I expect to. I'm looking forward to the day when I can do that soon. So, well, Kristi, thank you so much for spending time today. We really appreciate it, and you have a wonderful trip coming up to Mexico.
Yes, I can't wait to see how it goes.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening to Masters of Travel. You can find us on Facebook at MAST Travel Network, on Instagram at MAST Travel Network, and on Twitter at MVP Travel. If you would like to find a travel advisor near you, please direct message any of our social media sites